What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more garbage, and we're returning to the 2001 album Beautiful Garbage for the penultimate track, though there are a number of bonus tunes in the folder. Thank you as always to Phil. And the second to last song is Untouchable. It's a single word title. Those are tough to get a read on, certainly in terms of predicting any lengthy narrative, though the word itself is common and pretty clear. It is something that is out of reach, though that can be for very positive or very negative reasons, which is to say, on the positive end of the spectrum, it could be someone or something that is so skillful, so talented, so elite, and so dominant that they are at the absolute pinnacle of whatever field or sport or creative discipline they are involved with and cannot be challenged in that regard. They can't be dislodged from that superior position. They are untouchable. But on the other end of the spectrum, it could be someone who is untouchable because they are considered a pariah, they are at the bottom of a caste system, or they've engaged in some transgression that makes them wholly undesirable to the point where even reaching out, supporting them in any way, or even just associating with them in any way is seen as taboo, and thus they are untouchable in that they will taint you if you become involved with them. So yes, those are obviously on the complete opposite ends of a spectrum, but maybe there's a meaning that's somewhere in between that, untouchable, because they're just literally unreachable for practical considerations or logistical reasons, and in that regard it wouldn't be overly positive or negative per se, or at least not without further information. I'll stop talking, let's listen to the tune. This is Garbage, the track is Untouchable, and it's the second to last song on their 2001 album Beautiful Garbage.
Untouchable. You know, no one's untouchable. You're bound to lose the game. There's no one else to blame. You play so safe and you're not risking enough. You are doomed to be undone. I swear I'll be the one to bring you down. So your fault, 'cause you got caught. Untouchable. You think you're untouchable.
and that feels sonically a bit off the reservation or a bit outside their middle lane, which, again, over the course of multiple albums, I've heard more variety than I would be, or than I expected. Maybe not that I expected, but that I was familiar with going into this deep dive, having only heard knowingly a couple garbage tunes back in the day. But yes, even having now heard some different stylings over the course of many songs, this one feels a bit anomalous in their discography, or at least up until this point. It has a bit of mystery to it, also a bit of a, like, I don't want to say hip-hop, but definitely a bit more of a, like, electro hip-hop meets maybe alternative styling, which is further to say it's got like a syncopated beat. There were even a couple sounds that almost sounded like, you know, turntablism, like scratching. There was also that sort of, what's the right word? Like an interesting juxtaposition between the down-tempo, again, hip-hop style beat, but also the very rapid-fire sonic layer that almost sounded both percussive and melodic at the bottom of the track. It was like keeping rhythm in a, like, double time, and it was essentially like a drum-type sound, but there was also a bit of melody to it, so that layer was particularly enjoyable. And yeah, so like lyrically it starts and I'm thinking, oh, so she's saying she's untouchable because, you know, she's saying like, you can't do anything to me, but then she says like, oh, you think you're untouchable, and then she clearly states that, you know, no one's untouchable, meaning, you know, even the most well-positioned, even the most confident in their durability or their lack of, or rather their position that cannot be assailed, even they can be torn down, and she's going to be the one to do it. And there's clearly a history between the two. Like, I thought maybe he had like cheated on her or something, but then she's saying like, oh, you know, it must be nice to always think that you're right and to never think that you're wrong, and, you know, if you really have a problem, don't go behind my back, come to my face. So there's a lot of implications in those lines, suggestion that maybe he's been bad-mouthing her to other people but hasn't said anything to her face, some sort of indication that when they have argued or had issues before, he just insists that he's correct every time and won't even listen to the notion that he might be wrong or mistaken about something. So it sounds like there's been a lot of bitterness brewing on her side, or on the narrator's side, but she also sounds very righteous, like she's convinced that he's the one who has been wrong and or inappropriate leading up to this point, and she's essentially challenging him to, you know, confront that reality, and saying that if he does, you know, she'll be the one to tear him off his perch and to, you know, cut him down to size, bring him back down to earth, and, you know, make him recognize that he's not this almighty, untouchable person as he's put himself up to be. So I do enjoy her vocals. That, again, in those lines she sounded very strident, or, you know, confident and defiant, but there was also like a sensuality to some of her vocalizations. It felt very, like, again, sensual or almost intimate. So I wonder whether that's a suggestion of the nature of their disagreement, that maybe they were a couple, or maybe they've had intimacy, but now that leads into her more powerful and defiant style vocals as the track comes along. So yeah, a really cool tune, one that, again, if you had played this for me at the beginning of the deep dive, I'd be like, oh, interesting, maybe Garbage, you know, doesn't have quite the sound that I thought I knew based on one or two tracks going back to the 90s. So yes, definitely an enjoyable one. One more track to go in the playlist proper, or on the album proper, and that is So Like a Rose. But as I said, there's a number of other tracks in here. Like, the one immediately after that in the folder is apparently a Velvet Underground cover, and there is, oh, The World Is Not Enough. We did already react to that, shout out to Mikey. Enough Is Never Enough, Happiness Part 2, April 10th, Begging Bone, Confidence, Sex Never Goes Out of Fashion, that is hilarious, Use Me, So yeah, a lot going on here in the 2021 remaster, like deluxe edition. So looking forward to that all. Let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.